Welcome back, creative disciples. Man, y'all surprise me every time. Like, seriously. For me to take 2 years off, when I left, we were looking at, I think, like 260. And now we almost at 400. What happened? Where did I go? Well, for one, I graduated college. I did a lot of stuff, moved out, got engaged. Whole lot of stuff. But as a sign of good faith, I'm going to hit y'all with what I promised before I left. The mega model. The very first one, the Xeno'jiiva. So let's get into it. For real this time. Now, if you couldn't already tell, I started making this video way back in 2021 when I first talked about making the mega model, and I was trying to get it out right away, but you know how that works. I was really hyped then, really had a lot going on, thought I could take advantage of the time that I had, but it ain't quite work out that way. And that's fine, but we here now. And that being said, I also was recording on my phone plus the Canon camera that I had at the time, so you know the quality is different, angles different, settings different, all that is different. But mid video we gonna switch to the new studio. Y'all gonna see what we working with now. In the meantime, this is how I started it. Let me tell you, this Xeno'jiiva did not make it easy. I'm just being real with you. It really didn't. It wasn't the most difficult model to work on, but I might say it was the most difficult model to finish. It just took so long. There was so many details, and when I compare it to other models, I feel like I've put more detail in as far as like little scales or spines or fingernails or whatever. I feel like I've done stuff like that before on another model if I give it enough time. Like the Valhazak had all kinds of curvy claws and weird figures on it that kind of drew out that process as well, so that did take longer than usual. Just like any other model that will have a bunch of like little things on their body, that's what really takes up a lot of time, because it takes a lot to carefully cut those things out and then place it on the model in a way that makes sense. When it comes down to like teeth are a nightmare. The good thing about this though is it is a big model, so a lot of that, although it was hard, it was mainly just hard to cut so many rather than hard to put it on. There's plenty of surface area for me to place whatever details I wanted to. Of course, at the end, it doesn't come out 100% accurate, but we did what we did. I want to point out that I started with the head and I worked my way down, made the skeleton just to try and get the size first, because size matters, at least in this case, and I wanted to make sure it was proportional, and most importantly, I wanted to make sure it can hold up its own weight. Just like any other model, the popsicle sticks don't weigh that much, but when you're talking about weighing them on top of each other, it can stack up. Certain body parts are heavier, and you gotta balance them out when it comes to making like things like a head or the tail. And really, the strongest joints out of body gotta be the ones in the legs, because if the legs are too weak, then it's just gonna crumble. Especially over time, it's gonna wither down and just get tired of holding that weight up, which is probably what's gonna happen to a good bit of my models, if not every single one. I don't know yet. I haven't had them long enough to really know. I've had some for like, I think upwards of 10 years, but at the same time, those are early models. Aren't built with as much thought as my newer ones, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, started with the skeleton, worked my way through, got the size, and I just started bulking up. And bulking was also hard because looking back at a couple of my other models, I realized that sometimes I'd be making them a little slim, you know, a little skinny, when I feel like they could have a little bit more meat on their bones. Stuff like the Devil Joe, which I'm probably going to take another crack at whenever I get the time. I just feel like I could do better. I could definitely do better. And I will, but that's besides the point. So bulking up the Xeno'jiiva really did take me to task a little bit. But yeah, I think I ended up with a good design. Now to take it back to the head real quick. The head took 25 popsicle sticks. That's more than the Indominus Rex. That's more than the Anjanath. My mind is blown. No, for real though. There's so much that went into making this model as big as it is. To a certain point, I really had to consider making certain things just straight up hollow. Just trying to save on weight so that it's not bearing itself down unnecessarily. I really had to figure that out, and it was a challenge. You know, it was a fun little challenge. Something I didn't really have to think about too much, because to be honest, when I'm making them, I don't think about, oh, this model has 2 legs. I'm gonna need to put this much on this leg, or make sure this is flat, or I just go because this is my art process. Just like when I'm drawing, just like when I'm doing anything else artistically, I really just kind of sketch and go. And with this model, I really had to put in some more thought as far as logistics and how the weight is going to be balanced. But just to give some final thoughts before we give the showcase, this probably is going to be maybe a 3-part series. I might be able to squeeze the painting in with the final build process by the end. I don't know how that's going to work, but whenever that video comes out, you'll find out. So we're ending this off right here. I've done the basic skeleton of the Xeno'jiiva, our very first mega model, and there's more to come. Alright y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so get the word out there. You already know what's up. Happy hunting. Y'all stay safe out there. Pencil Diddy out.